Hi, everyone. I'm Danny Nierenberg, president of Food Tank. I was proud to be among the judges who chose the Food Heritage Foundation as this year's winner of the Arrell Global Food Innovation Awards. I'm really pleased to introduce the winners, Abdo Tannoury and Mabelle Chedid of the Food Heritage Foundation, which is based in Lebanon. Congratulations to you both. The work you do is so incredibly important for preserving culture and identifying the critical role that Indigenous peoples play in protecting agrobiodiversity, solving the climate crisis, and nourishing communities. So the Food Heritage Foundation uses traditional knowledge to deal with current food problems. And so I want to ask you both, what is it about Indigenous food knowledge that makes it a useful tool for dealing with our food system issues? And Abdo, do you want to go first?
Thank you. Allow me to thank you first for receiving us and to thank Arrell again for granting us this award for this year. As a start, the Food Heritage Foundation, since its establishment, adopted the solid development tools in order to be able to respond to the crisis, especially the successive crisis that Lebanon has been passing through during the last years. As an example, the community kitchen, our community kitchen is one of our example, which aims to better serve the communities during crisis. In able to achieve this goal, we relied on three main pillars to be able to achieve our goal. The first one is to build up the capacity and train both Syrian refugees and the local communities, especially on food production and agricultural practices. And also while giving a special role for both women and young, because they are key players within the communities. Secondly, we introduced new technologies combined with indigenous knowledge in order to provide a better chance for livelihoods. And finally, we create linkages between the different communities in able to share knowledge and transfer the technology between each other, which are the base for any development of any concept and any approach to be sustainable.
Thank you so much. And Mabelle, I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about what Abdo alluded to around the role of women when we're talking about the work of the Food Heritage Foundation.
Well, as my colleague Abdo mentioned, women play an essential role in our community. So the woman is the keeper of the land. She teaches her children, and the cultural knowledge that she owns, the food culture, she transmitted from one generation to another. And this is why it's important for us to build the capacities of women so they can teach their children and they can keep their households together, especially during crisis when they are taking care of their families.
Absolutely. And I'm wondering if, for you both, how can other communities identify what kinds of local solutions that will make big progress on food challenges? Whichever one of you can weigh in.
Allow me to say communities and their problems, and then to set their priorities. And to do this, they also need to learn from their local food knowledge and consequently develop innovative and sustainable solutions. And another thing to meet the needs of these communities is to follow up a bottom-up approach to discuss with the communities their needs and their demands and propose solutions that are quite acceptable by the community and well adapted to their needs. So these are basically context-based, context-related. And yes, that's it basically.
Absolutely. Abdo, you've talked about how things have been so incredibly difficult for the country of Lebanon in the past few years. How has the Food Heritage Foundation made communities more resilient to the shocks and the crises that have taken place?
Yes, it's very important to do the linkages between the communities. As you know, the cities are more or like closed, and we have a very high population densities, and we have to rely on the rural areas to support these cities and communities during the crisis, because most of the agricultural production is located in these rural areas. And through these linkages, it was very important to cover the need during the crisis and to have a sustainable method of continuity and to sustain within this crisis.
Absolutely, those rural and urban linkages are incredibly important. Another thing I wanted to ask is, in addition to creating better food security, the Food Heritage Foundation has also emphasized environmental sustainability throughout your work. How can other organizations develop those same kind of sustainability priorities in addition to tackling big challenges?
Of course, environmental sustainability is essential to achieving food security, because we need to rely on sustainable agricultural and production practices to make sure that we are producing enough food in a sustainable way. So, as previously mentioned, to come up with these sustainable solutions, or these environmental sustainability, we need to discuss with the community what are their needs, and how to build these solutions and create these sustainable or these innovations together in order to meet their needs on the long term. And of course, following the SDGs is very important to do so. So these were created as a very important guideline for us to follow.
Absolutely. And it just shows how the work that the Food Heritage Foundation does is so cross-cutting, and you're making these linkages and connections every day in your work. I want to congratulate you both again. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Danny, again for receiving us and for granting this opportunity from Arrell. Thank you again, really.
We're so proud of the work you do. Thank you both.
We are really honored. We are really honored that our work is being recognized on an international level. So this really means to us and to our community, especially in these dear times that our beloved country is going through. Thank you.
And I hope this amplifies your work in even bigger ways. And again, congratulations. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.